What's up, friends? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Pam, and today I have my Goth Plants collection. So it is not entirely surprising that I am naturally drawn to plants with black or blood red or dark purple leaves. So today I thought it would be fun to put them all together and show them to you guys, and maybe there's something in here that you didn't know existed or that you don't have and you'd love to have, or maybe you just want to look at some plants. I got you. So I've got a few begonias, some philodendrons, a Coleus you may be familiar with, and a few other odds and ends. So let's just get into it. I guess I'll start with this little guy right here who's already in frame and desperately needs to be cleaned up. We'll just cut that out of the video. Okay, some of you may be familiar with this right here. This is a purple Oxalis false shamrock, and this variety is definitely my favorite. There is a green one as well. I did have one and I think it went dormant, and then I think at some point I threw it away by accident because I thought it was an empty pot, but that's fine because this is my favorite one anyway. This one would probably be doing a lot better if I didn't keep it next to my stove. It gets a little grimy and greasy, but fortunately this is one of those plants that is constantly turning over leaves, so it doesn't bother me too much that it gets a little grimy because I know that those leaves weren't going to last long anyway, and more are coming. Unfortunately, this isn't flowering right now, but it does make little pale purple flowers that are very cute, and this is actually an edible plant, which some people do not know. Yeah, I love the patterning. Just a really cool plant, and these do go dormant now and then, and I just let them kind of sit on top of my refrigerator for a month or so, and then I'll start watering them again and wake them back up, and you know, usually it takes a little bit, but they do come back every time. So it's probably the third or fourth cycle of leaves and dormancy that I've had with this plant in the last like 2 years, so it's definitely a cool plant. And if you're looking for one of these, don't pay too much for them because they end up being like $3 to $5 around St. Patrick's Day. That is your purple Oxalis. So next up, this is probably, this could be my favorite begonia that I own. It's one of them for sure. Really love my begonias. So this right here was a wonderful, whoa. This right here is a wonderful gift from Dirty Roots on Instagram, and I've showed this to you guys a few times before, but now you can see just how much it's grown in the last like year. I think it was a little less than a year. It is one of the coolest begonias. It grows like crazy, and I love how it's kind of compact compared to some of my begonias, which tend to get a lot like leggier and stemmier. This guy stays real compact and really cool. And it's definitely been happy under just like a cheap clamp LED grow light, which last time I mentioned that, you guys asked me what I was talking about. I always have links down in my description box of any of the tools that you might see me mention on my channel. I just keep a running list down there. They are affiliate links, so if you do decide to click on that link, I will get a small commission of anything that you may decide to buy. But if you don't want to do that, you can just search on Amazon and you should be able to find something. Continuing on the black begonia train that we're on here, this is probably the most appropriate of all of the goth plants to show you today. This is a Begonia Hallows Eve, and I got this from Steve's Leaves, which is where I got yes, all of the begonias that I'm talking about today, except the one from Dirty Roots that I just showed you. So this is another sort of black-leaved begonia, but this one will have this black-red velvety color, and the abaxial sides of the leaves are red, like a blood red, which is so beautiful. I desperately need to repot this. It is still in the pot that I got it from Steve's a while back, and the roots are just starting to come out from the bottom, so this guy is definitely going to go in a new pot this week, but it has just been growing like crazy. I have it under the same grow light that I have this guy under, and the one that I will show you in a few, so good amount of light hitting these begonias. I also love that this one has like this bat wing-esque feel to it. It's just such a beautiful begonia. This was definitely an impulse buy. I went on the site to grab a Begonia Taconite, and I saw this one and was like, well, my cold black heart needs that. This one came from Little Prince Plants. This was a gift that they actually sent me, one of their succulent mystery boxes to check out and review. And, well, actually, they just sent it to me. They didn't ask me to do anything with it, but I reviewed it. So this right here is a Haworthia tessellata, and it's such a cool plant. It's got several pups that you can see coming off the side of it, and it looks kind of almost dead, but like not, and it looks like it has teeth, and it's just like the coolest little plant. And this one, I've noticed a lot of people that come into my house, and I haven't had very many people here, obviously, for obvious reasons, but the couple people that have been in my house and checked out my plants, they always point this one out, and it's just because it's such a unique looking plant. Right now it has 1, 2, 3 pups coming off of it, and it has flowered multiple times. I have these ones under my LED panels, and this has definitely flowered quite a few times under there, so it's been an active little plant for something that looks dead on the outside. Same. Next up, let's take a look at the philodendrons that I've brought out for y'all today. So these guys look a little similar, but you can see that the leaf structure is just a bit different. They're more, this is more of like an erubescens, kind of thinner leaf, and then this one right here does get quite large and a little bit more heart-shaped. This is a philodendron Bloody Mary, so you know, probably pretty obvious why I put this one on the list. If you do cut this plant too, it will bleed on you and stain your skin. This guy is getting quite tall, and I'm probably going to need to get it a moss pole or maybe chop and prop this guy to fill in the pot a little bit more. But I picked this one up from Pepper's greenhouse, I believe, and it was really cheap. I got it, just had maybe 3 or 4 leaves on it at the time, and it's growing really well in my northeast window. It's mostly a north window with a little bit of direct light in the very early morning. And it's definitely been making my philodendrons quite happy over there. They're doing a lot of growing. And then we've got this little leaf glass slippering up here. I love watching them try to fight their way out. This one has like almost a dusty backside of the leaf, and then the stems are really what's blood red on this plant. You get like this emerald green leaf, but the stems are really red. And then right here, this is a philodendron Royal Queen, and this was sent to me from Cody over at the Plant Channel, and this is just such a gorgeous plant. And when I first got it, I was like, oh, is that a Bloody Mary? And then I found out it was a Royal Queen, and now that I've had it for a while, you can really see the difference in the plant and the leaf structure. And this one is just absolutely gorgeous. Again, it's got that really deep crimson stem that I just love, and a similar bronzy color on the back side as the Bloody Mary, but this has sort of more of a dark veining right here. It's just a really beautiful plant, and it's been quite a grower. It has grown quite a bit since I got this. And we've got a leaf coming out right here, and then this one just came out up top, and there's another one coming out right there. This is another good candidate for a little tip chop right here. Maybe I'll take you guys around with me on a video and just chop a bunch of plants. I know that a lot of people do most of their propping in the spring, but I don't know, it's just like something about the impending winter. I'm just like, I need to cut some of these plants so that I have something to grow over the winter. And I've never really had any problems propping in the fall, so I don't know. Do what you want. Okay, let's hop back to the begonias. Now this one, not entirely black, but probably the witchiest of my begonias. So this beauty right here is a Begonia Leopon, 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 and it is, this is fast replacing some of my top begonias. I love this thing. Now the undersides, the abaxial side, is like this blood red on almost all of them. The stems have this intense like speckling. They're so cool. And then some of the leaves are this beautiful bright green color, and then some of them turn almost black. So So they kind of come in this real dark red color and then go through their color shifts. This is such a beautiful begonia. This is the kind of begonia that makes me not understand when people don't like begonias. I'm like, look at this thing, look at it. I mean, it's okay if you don't like begonias. I mean, I'm just saying that you're wrong, that's all. And that's a joke before anyone tells me about how a begonia killed their mother, okay? One more begonia, I promise. This one, perhaps not goth, but I'm going to argue that it is goth. It has the blood red abaxial sides of the leaf, and it has a very unique and almost black adaxial side of the leaf. So I would argue, close enough. This is my Begonia Starry Nights. I think maybe just the idea of the Starry Nights painting also makes me feel dark and evil on the inside. I don't know. But I really love this begonia, and mine is actually a little bit, I feel like a little greener than some of the ones that I've seen just photos of. I don't know if they're like, you know, adjusted photos or whatever, but I just think this begonia is absolutely spectacular, and it's a really good grower. You can see I've obviously got it against a wall facing a window, so it's a little one-sided right now, but I don't mind that so much. Sometimes when plants are like, you know, like this and they're floppy on all sides, they take up so much real estate on the shelves, and I need more of that here. So, and again, this was another one that I picked up from Steve's Leaves. I just can't say enough good things about Steve's begonias. I've never had a single problem with any of the begonias that I've got. Actually, I've never had a single problem with any plant that I've gotten from Steve's Leaves. So just a huge fan all around, mainly because, you know, they're begonia baddies. And editing Pam just popping in to show you the plant that I left in my bathtub. I put it in the tub to wash off the leaves so that it would be nice and pretty for the video, and then I left it in the tub and forgot to film. This is my ZZ Raven, and this is a popular goth plant. These are still a little tricky to get your hands on, but not so much anymore. But yeah, just an awesome all-around black plant favorite. And I didn't want to leave it out of the video, so okay, back to the video. Here, of course, is my Othello Coleus. You guys may have just seen the video where I chopped this back and stuck some of the props back into the soil. So I just wanted to show you what's going on with that. You can see this one has gotten a little bit droopy. I do need to water this, so that's why. But this was one of the bigger cuttings that I put in, and you can see that it is droopy because the pot has dried out. However, the smaller cutting that I put in is not really droopy yet because there's less for that cutting to have to, you know, keep moisturized. So that's kind of the reason why I mentioned that I use smaller cuttings. But you can see it is in there. It's starting to root already. It's like it's got a bit of resistance when I tug it, and it has put out some growth since I stuck it back into the pot. So if anybody needed some proof that I know what I'm talking about, kinda sometimes, there you go. But this is one of my favorite Coleus. I talk about it a lot. It is a beautiful Coleus. This guy has been a little light deprived lately, so it is a little on the rebound, but after a few months of being under my grow light this fall, it'll bounce right back. I'll be able to show it to you guys in more of its full glory. But for now, we can check out how cool these leaves are. So if this gets a little less light, more of this green comes out like this. And then with more light, it does get darker purple until the point where it is just about black. So I'm excited to see how this one flushes out. I have it under one of my more powerful grow lights just to give it some recovery time. Well, that's all I have for you guys for now. Stay tuned. We're gonna have more deliciously fall-themed videos coming up. And if you have a goth plant collection, I want to see it. And if you make a video on your channel of your goth plant collection and use the hashtag goth plant collection, I will help you share out your video and get some more eyes on it, as well as mine, because I'm excited to see it. Happy October, and I will see you in the next one.
Where do we go? Help me get into the shower. 100,000 minutes past the hour. The fuse refused to stop this burnout. El tango de la muerte.